Amelia Bedelia's first day of school. Look at her. She has a book in one hand, a notebook. She's hopping. There's kids over here in the playground. What is this over here? The yellow school bus. She brings her to school. And the author of the book is Herman Parrish and Lynn Arville. And look, there's her mom. She's waving. She says, "Hop on the bus, Amelia Bedelia." So there she goes. Hop, hop, hop. She's going to go up the stairs. And then there's seats in there where she takes her seat. Other kids are in there. Look at the nice school bus driver. It looks like she's putting on the brakes. She can stop for Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia couldn't wait to go to school. "Here we are," said Mrs. Park, the bus driver. See, there's Mrs. Park. "Time to jump off." Amelia Bedelia backed up, then ran as fast as she could and jumped as far as she could. So she wanted to have a big jump to go to school. And there's other kids over here. He rode his bike. Looked like two friends walked together. The mom's walking in with looks like a younger little boy going to school. So the mom's walking him. Amelia Bedelia landed right on top of a grown-up. "Whoof! Are you my teacher?" she asked. "I am Mrs. O'Malley. I teach gym." So you can tell she kind of teaches gym because she has a whistle right there. She has her gym hat on and her tennis shoes. "Oh," said Amelia Bedelia. "Am I not Jim? I'm Amelia Bedelia." "Oh," she says, "I teach gym." So Amelia Bedelia thought she was calling the coach was calling her Jim. Let's see, I teach gym. G-Y-M is gym. It's a big area where you go to play basketball and stuff. And Amelia Bedelia thought she was calling her J-I-M, which is a boy's name. But Amelia Bedelia said, "I'm Amelia Bedelia. Can you help me find my teacher?" "Follow me," said Mrs. O'Malley. So here they go, walking down the hall. There's her whistle blowing. She's walking so fast her whistle's going back. And right up here, it says "Back to School." Love it. And up here it says Miss Edwards, Mrs. Smith. That's the teacher's names above the doors. And Amelia Bedelia did right into her new classroom. So see, there's a girl in there and a boy. It's like some kind of a cabinet with flowers. And there's a little girl over here with her backpack going into her classroom. "Hello there, my name is Miss Edwards. You must be Amelia." "How do you know?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "Because you're my last tag," Mrs. Edwards said. Right here, "Welcome, students." See, here's Penny and Clay. And then here's Amelia's name tag. She's probably going to put it on the front of her shirt. Amelia Bedelia started running. "You can't catch me," she yelled. "I'm too fast." "Come back," said Mrs. Edwards, laughing. "We aren't playing tag. I have a name tag for you." Oh, see, Amelia got it mixed up again. She says, "You're my last tag." So she thought they were going to play tag in the classroom. Like tag, you're it. But no, her tag, she meant her name tag. So she says, "I have a name tag for you." And she's holding it up in the air. Look, she has all the alphabet up here. It's all the way A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. It goes all the way around until it hits C. Look how fast she is, though. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All the kids are looking. This little girl over here looks, she's going like, "Oh!" And look at the clock on the wall. Let's see what time it is. It's 9 o'clock. Time for school. And can you find the cage in the classroom? There's a cage with a little pet in it. Can you find that? It's right there. Probably a little hamster because there's some water. Amelia Bedelia looked at her name tag. Something was missing. She added Bedelia. I like my whole name, she said. It rhymes. So it does, said Mrs. Edwards. Now please sit wherever you like. That was a hard choice for Amelia Bedelia. She liked the pictures of faraway places. She liked the letters marching across the top of the board. She liked the hamster running on its wheel. And she liked everything she saw. So she sat down in the middle of the classroom. So look, the teacher has all the pictures here, the ABCs, and there's that little pet hamster. And Amelia Bedelia sitting there with her little flower in her hair. Look, see, there's where she wrote her name. Bedelia. Mrs. Edwards began the day by calling the roll. Amelia Bedelia. So calling the roll is when the teacher calls your name and to see if you're there. She puts a check by your name. Amelia Bedelia. What? Said Amelia Bedelia. Not what, said Mrs. Edwards. Here. I hear you, said Amelia Bedelia. Well, good, said Mrs. Edwards. When you hear your name, say it. It, hollered Amelia Bedelia. It, said Mrs. Edwards. Who is it? I will be it, said Amelia Bedelia. Can we play tag now? Everyone began to laugh. So Amelia Bedelia getting a little mixed up there again. She's supposed to say, when the teacher calls your name, you're supposed to say here. So she's trying to teach Amelia Bedelia to say here. I am here today. Clap, clap, clap. Shh. Be as quiet as mice, said Miss Edwards. Now that I am sure you are here, Amelia Bedelia, I'll read the names of your classmates. Rose, here. Teddy, here. Angel, here. Chip, here. Holly, here. Penny, here. Don, here. Their names were very exciting, but Amelia Bedelia still loved her name best of all. And there she is, right in the middle. Plop, plop, plop. Miss Edwards placed a lump of squishy clay on each desk. Let's make our favorite animals, she said. Amelia Bedelia loved hamsters, so she began making one. See, there she is with her clay. She's got her tongue sticking out. She's really thinking about it. Rose made a giraffe. Yes, long neck. Dawn made a pony. Look, she put little toothpicks in there. And Clay made a big, fat bullfrog. It does. It looks like a real bullfrog. You're funny, Amelia Bedelia, said Clay. You could be the teacher's pet. Amelia Bedelia was not happy. She loved animals, but she did not want to be anyone's pet. She felt like flattening Clay's frog. She said, no, I don't want to be a pet. I like pets, but I don't want to be a pet. Look at her hamster. Didn't she do a really good job on that? She's pretending she's running around the hamster cage. If you have trouble, chickadees, said Miss Edwards, try wiggling your fingers on your clay. So that is exactly what Amelia Bedelia did. Soon Clay was laughing so hard he could not stop. Amelia Bedelia said, Clay, stop tickling me. So she said, Miss Edwards said, tickle your fingers on Clay, and see his name is Clay. So that's what she was doing, tickling Clay. Clean up, everybody clean up, saying Mrs. Edwards. It's time for music. Mrs. Mrs. Melody arrived with her guitar and tambourine. We will sing like birds today. La la, she trilled. She's over here. Tweet, tweet, chirp, chirp. Then the students turned the library with Mrs. Toured. So the students toured. So toured means that you went to look through it and check it out. The library with Mrs. Stacks. I want to see your little noses in the books, said Mrs. Stacks. In gym class, Miss O'Malley taught them how to run like cheetahs. So it looks like Amelia Bedelia liked that. She was even going meow. Oh, look at that. What time is it? There's all the food. At last it was time for lunch. Do you feel like a sloppy Joe? Asked the lady behind the lunch counter. No, said Amelia Bedelia. I don't look like one. Here you are, said the lady. I hope your eyes aren't bigger than your stomach. Me too, said Amelia Bedelia. They would not fit my head. So they have a sloppy joes, looks like some carrots, an apple, and some peas. And what do you think this carton is? I think it's milk. Look, she has a straw for hers. Looks like a good lunch. You know why the lady wears a cap on her head in the lunchroom? She wears this cap so none of her hair will fall in your food. So that's why they wear those funny looking hats in the lunchroom. Amelia Bedelia said Rose after lunch, do you want to jump rope with us? Amelia Bedelia smiled. Sure, she said. She put the rope on the ground and jumped over it. So look at this long rope. They tied all the jump ropes together. See all the knots? Amelia Bedelia was a terrific rope jumper. Rose giggled. So did Holly and Don and Joy. But before long, everyone on the playground was jumping rope the Amelia Bedelia way. There was time for one last project. Miss Edwards brought out big sheets of paper, glue, and scissors. This is free time, she said. Create something wonderful. See, there's her scissors. It says right here, SCISSORS, scissors, glue, and then all the stacks of paper. Green paper, white paper, yellow paper. She says, free time. Create something wonderful. Amelia Bedelia decided to make daisies for her mother. That's nice. She got a piece of white paper for the petals. There's the petals. And a piece of yellow paper for the center. There's the center. And another piece of white paper, and another piece of yellow paper, and another piece of white paper, and another piece of yellow paper. So there she goes, getting all the paper, and then she's back at her desk. Amelia Bedelia, said Miss Edwards, don't be a ping-pong ball. Please, sit down. But I need green for the stems. Enough is enough, said Miss Edwards. Please glue yourself to your seat. Uh-oh. Oh no, the teacher wanted her to sit still, so she said, please glue yourself to your seat. So I hope Amelia Bedelia doesn't really put glue down on her seat. Let's see what she does. So Amelia Bedelia did. And since her daisies didn't have stems, she glued them to her headband until school day was ended. So she put the daisies up here. She could take them home that way. Goodbye, squirrels and ladybugs, said Miss Edwards. She was standing in the doorway giving everyone a gold star. Wow, she gave everybody a gold star. See you tomorrow. Soon Amelia Bedelia was the only one left. Amelia Bedelia said, Miss Edwards, why are you still here? Because, said Amelia Bedelia, you told me to glue myself to my seat. So I did, said Miss Edwards. And so I did, said Amelia Bedelia. So she's still sitting there. Daisy's in her hair, and she's glued to her seat. So you can see all the rest of the alphabet up here. All the letters. Amelia Bedelia stood up, and the chair stood up with her. Miss Edwards chuckled, then laughed out loud. Oh, Amelia Bedelia, Miss Edwards said, I should have known better than to say that to you, especially on the first day of school. Miss Edwards got Amelia Bedelia unstuck. She whispered, Want to know a secret? Today is my first day of school, too. I am a brand new teacher. We both deserve gold stars, said Amelia Bedelia. You'll have lots of fun tomorrow, said Miss Edwards. We're having an assembly. Hooray, said Amelia Bedelia. What are we going to build? Oh, an assembly. So an assembly, she says, for tomorrow, when they say we're going to assembly, that's when all the kids come together in one place and they see a show. Memories, said Mrs. Edwards. Then she tapped Amelia Bedelia once on the top of her head. Tag, said Mrs. Edwards. You're it until tomorrow. Amelia Bedelia smiled. She couldn't wait to come back to school. Look, see, there's her gold star. She gave Miss Edwards her gold star. And look, Amelia Bedelia gave her teacher a daisy, a pretty flower that she made. Love it. For more books and resources, you can just go to homeschoolforlife.org. Thank you very much.